Hey, my name's Nadernejad, and in today's video, I'm going to teach you everything you need to know about charging HST in Canada, and I'm going to give you the definitive advice. Now, I want you to know I'm not a lawyer. I'm a Canadian business owner. I ran a sole proprietor for 8 years. In the last 3 years, I have managed, directed, and run a corporation in Canada. So I've been doing this since I was 15 years old. And I've learned some definitive hard truths and the reality about how to run a corporation from trial and error. I didn't even know how to file my own corporate returns, but I did file my own articles of incorporation. I learned to file my own corporate returns. I learned how to source the best bookkeeper, how to find an accountant, how to hold them accountable, how to use lawyers, about error and emissions insurance, everything. So if you're in Canada and you're going, I'm confused, I'm also worried I'm not going to be compliant, because often our fear is, I'm not going to be compliant because I don't understand it. What if I make a mistake? What if they shut me down? What if I get charged? None of that's going to happen. We're going to keep this very focused on HST today. If you have any questions, and by the end of this video, you're going to know everything you need to know about HST for the most part. But if you have any questions, just drop a comment down below. So let's get started. So when do you need to charge HST? I'm going to find the exact number for you, but it hasn't changed in a very, very long time. So the moment you make $30,000 in your business, and a lot of people get confused, before I make $30,000 and when I project I make $30,000? Is it after I make $30,000 but the following tax year? No. The moment you make $30,000 of what is called your supply on your sale of goods, you should register an HST number. And you can do this online. Again, always go to the governmentofcanada.ca website or Corporations Canada. It will have the Government of Canada logo. Don't go to a lawyer, don't go to anyone sponsored, don't go to a third party, just do it. Literally, you just sign in with your corporate key or your banking information. You should be able to get into the platform, register an HST number. It's going to ask you some basic information. If that's scary for you, all you will need is your social insurance number. You can call the CRA or perhaps Corporations Canada, one of these entities. I believe you're going to call the CRA. That's what I did at the time. And you're going to say, I want to register an HST number. They're going to ask you for some information, some details, and they can do it right over the phone from my experience. Just open up a notepad, write down your new HST number. It's going to have a few digits. Before, it's going to be like RT is the name of the account. It's going to have some digits and then your business number. It's very simple. It just gets added to your business number. And that's it. Now you have to start collecting HST, but you must be wondering how. That's confusing. I don't like it. Do I just charge people according to my province? Do I charge them to their province? How do I make sure I get it right? What does it look like in my agreements? Don't worry, gonna make it very, very simple. Here's your definitive, specific answer. You will charge HST according to the province that your client is in. That means if your HQ, if your headquarters is Ontario, or it's Alberta, or it's Winnipeg, or it's downtown Oshawa, it doesn't matter where you are, you're going to charge HST where your client is. And this is called the rule of supply. In Canada, where you are supplying the good, you must charge the tax, with the exception of the US or any other international country. So let me get this right. You do not need to charge HST to people who do not reside in Canada. Wow, a lot of people make this mistake. You have to be careful, and this is the caveat. To be compliant, you have to charge HST correctly. So you must, A, put your HST number on your agreements. I believe this is actually stipulated by the government. When I'm charging HST to somebody, I must transparently display my HST number, right? Mostly, it's the professional thing to do. I don't go buy onions at the supermarket and Superstore shows me their HST number, so I'm pretty sure there's exceptions to that rule. But if I'm charging $10,000 for goods and services, then the taxes are going to be 15% of that because my client's in Nova Scotia, you should probably display your HST number as a general rule. Now, this HST is not your money. You must remit the HST. What that means is save it. So if you're confused, how do I save it? How do I make sure it's balanced? What am I going to owe? Just save all of it. Do not spend your HST. Pretend that money is not yours. And if you're confused on how to do that, take that money and put it into a separate HST account. Go to your bank, Scotiabank, CIBC, TD, RBC, BMO. Tell them, hey, I want to remit HST for my business. This is for the government. Can you open me up an account with low fees or no fees? Because I'm going to have no transactions. I'm only going to put money in there to give to the government. They will likely help you. That's what I recommend doing. Don't keep that HST money in with your other funds because something might happen to them. When you go to file your taxes, you're going to owe it to the government. You're not going to have the money. Not a really good place to be in because you're going to owe interest on that. So it's not scary. Again, register the HST number either online by following very basic prompts or calling the CRA. Once you've registered your HST number with the CRA, you must start charging HST according to where your client lives and resides. Simple. We don't charge HST for the States, and when we save our HST, we save it in a separate account so we can remit it to give to the government of Canada. Now, how do you know how much HST you owe at the end of the year? Well, if I'm a business or I have a business, a corporation, and I'm buying a lot of goods, so I'm purchasing many, many goods in Canada, marketing services, contracting services, writing services for our clients, it comes from our total margins. I only have a few Canadian clients a year, maybe several a year, but most of our clients, 80% of our volume comes from the States. Beautiful. So we're maybe grossing $200,000 a year. It's just a rough random example. We're charging a few Canadian clients, maybe $10,000 of that 200 grand, we're charging HST. So maybe 15%, let's say all those clients came from Nova Scotia. On that $10,000, let's say $1,500 is charged in HST. Now, if I'm actually spending $30,000 of taxes on buying things for the business, so let's say I bought this camera, I bought, I don't know, another product and like several iPads, a DJ controller, sound equipment, audio equipment, plane tickets for the business. On that, I'm paying HST. I'm paying HST on this camera. I'm paying HST on the plane ride. I'm paying HST on my transportation. I save those receipts. I give them to my bookkeeper and accountant, if you have those. They will say, Nader, you spent, I don't know, $20,000, $30,000 of taxes this year on buying goods and services. You spent HST. That HST you spend in your business goes against the HST that you have to remit. So once and I'm very bad at accounting and bookkeeping, but I know once your bookkeeper goes through all those numbers, adds them up and figures out you spent way more HST than you had to remit, you actually get money back, or at least you don't owe that money to the CRA. That's the thing. So yes, there's a little bit of, there are caveats, there are interesting things that move around, but overall it's very simple. Simple to register, simple to know when you collect, when you get $30,000, simple to know who you charge. And if you're wondering, how do I know what Manitoba HST is? How do I know how much to charge? This is what the CRA told me when I spoke with them directly. They said, we have a calculator online that you can use to learn how to charge someone in that province. I actually copy the info from that calculator, pull it into the agreement. I'm going to show you exactly how to do it right now. So this is my corporation, Nadernejad Media Incorporated, and I just want to show you that we are compliant, right? So we have filed our corporate returns, operating as a corporation. This is how generally I would calculate the taxes. So let's pretend you are in Alberta. Okay, you're my client in Calgary, and I'm going to charge you $5,000 on this video consultation. That would be an amazing consulting fee for me, but let's go and see. So we're going to type in Government of Canada HST calculator, and it will pop up first, Canada.ca. Make sure you're always going to Canada.ca and you're looking for this logo. Make sure the link isn't messed up. You're not seeing super cool Canada business.ca. You're seeing Canada.ca, so you know it's not a scam. GST HST calculator. And it's right here. You just select the province or territory. So I'm going to say you're in Alberta. It's $5,000 for this video consultation before taxes. And we're going to calculate. And GST is 5%. I actually almost thought it was 8%. I'm very surprised. Time to move to Alberta. Wow. No provincial sales tax. Oh, that's beautiful. Okay. So you would pay me $250 on this consultation, which is great. So I usually just copy this, Command C, Control C, right click, copy. I paste that in my agreement and I charge it as a deliverable, and the deliverable says HST. And then it shows this breakdown, and in that, it's not a clause, but it's the deliverable within our agreement. I'm going to put my HST number. And it's as simple as that. That's how we charge HST. Again, the rule of supply, the type of supply, you're supplying the good to that province, you charge for that province, not for your HQ. Okay? Remember that. So that's it, as simple as that. That is how you charge and remit HST. If you have any other questions, drop me a comment down below. My name is Nadernejad, and thank you for watching.